Hello and welcome to Metropolis. This is a new series on my channel. By the way, my name's Kafis, just in case anybody didn't know. And so this is going to be focused on building a city. And it may not be building a city in the traditional Minecraft fashion. I'm not just going to start building it like a modern city today or like a Roman city 2,000 years ago. This is actually going to be an evolutionary city. So the way it's going to work is when I start out, right now, oh, hello villager, it's going to be the colonial era, and I'm going to build as if it were in the colonial era. My city will start small and centered around this village, and yep, as time goes on, as I gather more resources, my city gets bigger. The architectural style will move on, probably into industrial era, and then so on and so forth. So as time goes on, the city evolves and becomes more modern. And yep, so this is going to mainly be a building focused series, and there's not going to be a lot of survival stuff, but I will include things like visiting another for the first time, getting my first resources, for example, and fighting the Wither and the Ender Dragon. So I'm going to come over here and start collecting wood. So just some basic things. I am in the latest snapshot, and will be playing in the latest snapshot. Oh, I need to get my inventory. So it might be a bit buggy, but I needed the snapshot because I edited the world a little bit to make it a bit flatter, because I don't like building on hilly areas. So yep, it's also locked in normal mode, so it won't be too difficult, but it won't be too easy either. And I am using the Arlibru texture pack, which is currently in beta. But if you have any suggestions for it or any comments, then you can comment in the comment section, or you can download it in the link I'll provide in the description. So I have some wood. I'm gonna start making some tools. Okay. So once I get my tools started, I'm probably just gonna get myself settled down. I'll probably occupy one of these houses. I'll go caving for a little bit. Hopefully get a bed and get some food settled, and then I will rejoin you when I'm done with that. And we are back. So I just took a little caving trip, and I got myself some iron, got full iron armor, some iron tools. Still got some more smelting up in here. I set up base in one of these villagers' houses. There's a cow in the village, because why not? And we're going to move on to our next part, which is going to be getting this area safe. So you may notice that I have almost 2 stacks of torches in my hand right now, and that's because I'm going to do my best to protect these villagers. And the way I'm going to do this is not with the sword, but with the power of light. So I'm going to place these torches in a manner that no mob should be able to spawn. So the way it works is that you place one, you count 1, 2, 3, and then you place that diagonally, and then you can do the same thing, 3, boom. And so you do this pretty much everywhere that you want. Another way to do it is you can count that way or that way as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then go. So that works that way too, same effect, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So I'm just going to do that all around the village. But first, I'm going to tell you why I need the villagers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, as the city grows, I want its population to grow too, which is why I'm building around a village. Because I want to start out with a small village with some people in it, and then I want to have the villagers breed as the city gets bigger by adding some breeding areas, and then houses for them to go to. And then, yeah, so as the village gets bigger, the population gets bigger. So to do this, I have to have villagers, and to have villagers, they need to not die. So I'm lighting up the area so zombies don't spawn. I also go to sleep pretty much as the sun's going down, just so there's a minimal chance of zombies spawning and killing them. But yeah, I'm going to add light, because also it just makes the area safer in general, so I can build in peace. So I'll be right back after placing some of these torches. And we're back from placing the torches. So I placed quite a few torches around here, just basically enough to make a pretty good perimeter. And yep, there should be no monsters spawning around. There may be a few places that I forgot, and places that I just couldn't place a torch in the correct way, like right here, and sometimes farmland is in the way, but this should be pretty good for the time being. And so, if you were paying attention in the beginning of this scene, or whatever you call this, you may notice that there's a lot of trees missing up there, and now they're here. So the next thing I'm going to do, and probably one of the last things I'm going to do before the end of this episode, is make a wall around here. So I'm talking pretty early colonial right now with this sort of architecture, like Jamestown, Roanoke, all those early English settlements generally had walls surrounding them. And what the wall is basically going to be able to do is allow me to act in complete safety until I'm ready to expand. So the way I'm going to do this is, a lot of these torches, especially right here, are not going to actually be in the wall, so I'm probably just going to get rid of them or keep them for old time's sake. So I'm going to have a 2 block padding right there, and each of these things is going to be 3 blocks, and then 1, 2, 3 blocks. And so I made sure to get something that's divisible by 3, at least here. I don't think this is divisible by 3, but we don't really need to worry about that yet. 2, 3. Yeah. So it's going to go like that, and then in the middle, fences like this. So the reason I'm choosing this particular style is, one, it sort of looks very wood-y, which is what I'm going for. And second of all, it's solid while being a bit transparent, so I can see monsters and stuff, and also it just sort of looks neat. So this is going to be a relatively tedious task, and I'm almost certain that I don't have enough wood on me as of now, but yep, I'm going to do this off camera. I'll come back if anything interesting happens or when I'm finished. And half an hour and about half a forest later, we have our wall. So this stretches all around. It even goes through this little pond, which is now my temporary permanent water source. Or my temporary infinite water source, not temporary permanent. And right here at the entrance, the way this works is that there's 2 fences which mobs don't know to pathfind through, so people can walk through it, and actually mobs could probably walk through it if they knew how to, but it's basically a mob-proof door that doesn't involve any opening or closing. So, yeah, we have our wall now, and this is the area that we're going to be working in for the beginning part of the city. So, this episode is obviously not as much of a buildy one as normal, or as will be normal, and it's probably also going to be a bit shorter than normal as well, because I don't really have any building projects in mind. So, the wall goes all around, and yep, that's pretty self-explanatory. So, a good thing about collecting all this wood is that it's also clearing out this huge area that I'll be able to build on in the future, and I'm looking forward to that. So there's a general overview of what we have. Everything's all lit up, and yeah. So what we're going to do next episode is we're actually going to start building, and we're going to start that by laying things. Well, actually, what we can start this episode is starting to tear some of these buildings down. So what we want to do is replace all these buildings with our own self-designed buildings. So I'm just using this one as my first target, mainly because it's small. So in the beginning, before I rebuild all these buildings, most of the villagers will flock to whatever is the remaining building, so probably this one since I'm keeping it there. But I'm going to make sure to look up villager AI once I'm done recording this, and I'm going to design my houses so that villagers will see them as houses and will go to them and live in them that night and hopefully breed in them if the time comes. Okay, we're just getting rid of this. Oh, my axe done. Okay, so Yeah, I'm probably going to remove the roads as well, because I want to lay out my own roads. So once I have like firmly established myself in here, I'm going to break down the walls, or at least part of the walls, and then expand. And I'm going to keep the same style for a little bit until I feel that I'm ready to expand. Luckily, I'm a pretty efficient worker, or a pretty hard worker when it comes to this stuff, so that might only be 2 or 3 or 4 episodes, because I can collect materials pretty fast. And this is a series that I'm going to be pretty devoted to, because I've been excited to do this for a while. So we've got our building over here is completely done. Well, let's tear down the church as well. Oh, stay out of the way. We're going to rebuild a church, but it's not going to look like this. And this is going to follow American culture, so when I build churches, a majority of them are going to be Christian, but I'm going to also make sure to keep it multicultural and build some synagogues and mosques and all that fun stuff. But synagogues and mosques, I don't think, really prevalent until the 20th century. But I'm not completely sure of the history of that, so I'm not going to call myself an expert. So, one last thing about the city in particular is that I don't have a name. Oh, whoops. I don't have a name for this yet, so if you have a cool name or just a general suggestion, then you can leave it in the comments. I'll probably pick one at a certain point. I just don't know when that is yet. Or if I just find one really cool, or come up with one myself that's really cool, I'll just say, okay, no more names, guys. But, yep, we don't have a name yet. And we're going to get one. Okay. Almost done with this church. Yep, so even though this is going to be much shorter than usual, I'm planning to do maybe 20-minute episodes. I'm going to leave it off here while I'm tearing this down. If you liked, you can leave a like, and if you really liked and would like to see more, you can subscribe. Make sure to check out the other Arlibru channels, which will be linked in the description. And hope you guys are looking forward to this series as much as I am. And really, until next time.